Peter Grimes, Peter Grimes, Peter Grimes.
I think the most overwhelming early operatic experience I had in my life was experiencing Peter Grimes by Benjamin Britten at the Royal Opera House, Covent Garden. It's an opera that delivers a punch like no other. It's an opera that has a visceral power, an emotional impact, an immediacy that truly is overwhelming.
Peter Grimes, of course, is the fourth opera in HGO's Britten series and was Britain's first major operatic success. This large-scale opera, which premiered in London in 1945, jettisoning him to international acclaim.
It burst onto the operatic scene at a time when the world needed a major cultural distraction. And very quickly, it became a really landmark piece of repertory in the opera houses of the world.
The opera, of course, was based on a poem called The Borough by George Crabbe. The character of Grimes in the poem, not a nice character at all, a very violent man. And the character was changed completely for the opera. He has a much softer side. He's almost a dreamer. And it's this dreamlike quality that sets him apart from the rest of the society in the borough.
Peter Grimes is about an outsider as perceived in his community as an outsider, a man who's very much living outside of his community while being in it every day, and how they perceive him. We don't know if Peter Grimes is guilty. We know that the community believes him to be so.
The challenge for Peter Grimes is to create both a credible society, the borough, a community that we can really believe in and identify with, within which the narrative is set, and a central character, Peter Grimes, that is not black or white, that is not a cardboard cutout villain, nor a clear victim.
The role of Grimes, of course, written especially for and created by Peter Pears, Britten's partner, who incidentally would have been 100 years old this year. It's a very interesting part. It can be performed by a very lyric tenor like Pears, or in the case of HGO's tenor, Anthony Dean Griffey, a far more dramatic voice.
Anthony Dean Griffey is a major interpreter of this role. Indeed, he's made this role very much his own in the last 15 years or so. He's an artist who really can encompass both the physical power of the character and the psychological complexity of the character. And so it's wonderful that he'll be coming to Houston, working with Neil Armfield and Patrick Summers on this new production to deepen and strengthen an already unforgettable interpretation of this unforgettable part. His one point of emotional contact is Ellen Orford, who is herself ostracized from the community because of her friendship with Grimes. The role of the school teacher, Ellen Orford, will be sung by Katie Van Kooten, a really exciting young American soprano. She made her HGO debut 2 seasons ago as Helena in Britten's Midsummer Night's Dream. She's one of the brightest, most exciting young talents to emerge. And I'm thrilled that she will be making her role debut as Ellen Orford with us. The other very important role in Peter Grimes is the old sea captain, Balstrode. Balstrode is a voice of sanity in a society containing rather less sanity than one would like. He'll be sung by the British bass baritone Christopher Purves. Christopher is a really wonderful, wide-ranging singer, and it's wonderful to be welcoming him to Houston Grand Opera to make his debut with us.
Peter Grimes, of course, was Britain's first large-scale opera. It's a very thrilling work, a very dramatic work, and the chorus is fundamental to its success. Houston Grand Opera audiences may remember this hair-raising chorus when they go baying for Grimes's blood as one of the opening numbers in our chorus production 2 seasons ago. that production, of course, there to highlight and show the importance of a chorus within the opera company. And here now they're going to be able to see exactly why that chorus was chosen.
This new production of Peter Grimes is a co-production between Houston Grand Opera, Opera Australia, Western Australian Opera, and the Perth Festival. Like the other operas in our Britten series so far, it will be directed by Neil Armfield. Neil Armfield is an immensely distinguished Australian theatre, movie and opera director. One of the great qualities that Neil brings, in the same way I must say that Britten brings to his operas, is an immense variety of styles, an immense variety of techniques.
More than any other music that I've learned in my life and been devoted to and learned to conduct, Britten's music comes to me best in silence. I just sit with the score in silence and try to absorb it. And a lot of that silence and a lot of that absorption has been there in Aldborough. The corruption of innocence, but also what society does to people, how we judge people who are different. I mean, that's essentially what Peter Grimes is about. And he, as a character, is killed by it.